Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy X-2. I'm the Mysterious JG, and we are in a race with the LeBlanc Syndicate to get the sphere on top of the mountain and the palace of the chalice and the sphere that is near or something. It's going to be pretty exciting. We can start off by running in the wrong direction. This whole section is going to make you feel like you're desperately short of time. Especially if you get a little bit turned around as to where you're supposed to be going, which is not impossible up here. And if you find yourself tempted to fight all the enemies or steal from all the enemies, you can, because in fact, the clock stops during these battles, I believe. I guess, to be sure about that, I would want to double check. It is also, you are allowed to change your settings so that you don't get the animations every time you switch back and forth between characters. Eventually, I think I might do that. But for now, we have Sailor Moon transformation sequences every time.
That wasn't much fun.
But I did a little, like, hair flip pose anyway, so apparently I enjoyed it at some level. Yeah, it doesn't look like you're, Okay, so you can go up here. Is that where you're supposed to... It says I can go up there. Okay. You might miss treasures depending on which route you take to climb. Coming up here doesn't look like it's doing anything for us, though. So this is actually a false path. You can win most battles with regular monsters if you're leveled up enough by just slamming the X button and attacking. And if that doesn't help you win, then you can use strategy or you can level up. Either or. Like Final Fantasy X, this game is eventually going to involve some really nasty super bosses, tougher than the plot bosses, but not for quite a while yet, obviously. Uh-oh.
You look a tad flushed. Why not stop to catch your breath?
Sure, Professor Snape. These thugs will help you. Snake! 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 So he says something at the beginning of this fight, but he's not actually a part of it anyway. And she learned pot shot. Oh, I guess that's something I haven't really showcased, how you learn skills. So let's do that real quick. Yeah, and the clock continues to run down while the game loads, which makes you all terrified you're losing time. So abilities. We have different abilities, right? Like, you know, Steel, and then we learned Steel Gill at one point. Well, whatever dress sphere you're on, you gain skill points by fighting and by using skills. And you can select which one you want these skill points to be applied towards learning. So right now we're 0 of 30 skill points towards having enchanted ammo, which does magical damage on one enemy, or cheap shot, damage one enemy regardless of its defense. Other things we could be learning, including passive skills, like Dark Proof, guards against darkness, Trigger Happy 2, which means your Trigger Happy goes longer. One we just learned, Pot Shot, is just a skill we can use to damage one enemy. It's all pretty great. Probably get going on Dark Proof, because with the Gunner dress sphere, I pretty much just attack anyway. And even though she's not a warrior, if she was, she would be working on Sentinel, but we could change that to have her working on Armor Break if we so desired. Which actually, Power Break you start out with, and Magic Break is probably the next most useful. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time worrying about this, except to show you that that's how it works in general. And Riku is also working on abilities. She's a thief, so she's working on Borrowed Time, which inflicts stop. In fact, Pilfer HP is better. Not that I would use it much, but you have to learn it to unlock Pilfer MP in this slot, which is actually quite useful. Because there's not that many skills in this game to allow you to get your magic points back. But getting your magic points back is a useful thing to do. You are a warrior, you are working on Flame Tongue, you're pretty close to having it, so I should probably just let you finish, but in fact Magic Break is what would be the most useful. And the clock didn't keep moving, so we're okay. So now we're inside a little cool, ruiny looking place. We can run around in this direction and we can activate A mysterious switch. Touching it does what? I don't know. I really don't know. I'm not sure that I used that switch on previous playthroughs. So the easiest way to get more skill points is just to defeat enemies, which is a problem because off screen I started leveling up faster than I meant to when trying to learn, like, get the Albed skill books and stuff. So I started trying to find alternative ways to do it. So what did that do? That lowers this thing. Okay. I guess maybe we needed to do that in order to cross? Doesn't seem like it mattered. I'm not sure that was the one that we affected either. Now there's two different directions to go. I don't remember which one's right. We can come back and redo any of this stuff if we have to. This maybe oh, see, we can even skip one of those platforms. This is the one that we adjusted. And now the map turns around on us backwards, so that's irritating. I wonder if there's a treasure chest down here. Well, here comes the pain! Here's a new enemy, but not really. It's a new enemy for Final Fantasy X-2 that we saw in the original game. Looks pretty dangerous, but I'm thinking if you can encounter it in this first dungeon of the game, it's probably not really that bad. I'll have to explain Oversoul eventually too, but okay, don't seem to be a treasure chest down there. Alright. So yeah, I'm not really at my leisure to explore here. There's the red ring. Red rum, red rum. Oh, hey, what do you know? This whole side jaunt was just to a treasure, which was fine, except that we're under a time constraint here. I don't think bombs explode in this game. I think they just look like bombs. Well, no, it's getting bigger. Maybe it does. But it's not like based on 3 turns and it'll blow up like in previous games, because turns happen much faster. Yeah, one thing you might have noticed is that there's a real-time combat system at play here. Enemies take turns while you're waiting for your turn. And honestly, that is by far the biggest thing. Like, there's a couple of things where this game is better than Final Fantasy X. Not story, not really characters. But that is definitely one, because Final Fantasy X is, from a gameplay perspective, just kind of plodding around. Like, you can sit there for 20 minutes thinking about what you want to do with your next turn, and there's no penalty. Yeah, Final Fantasy X makes the boss battles a little bit more intense. It might hurt my commentary, but I won't be able to just like stop and think about fun things to say at all times. There's a treasure chest. I saw it. Oh, and I guess maybe it was just a torch that cropped in a weird. Yeah, it was just a torch that cropped into a weird way. How slow are they moving? If they went the right way the first time, there's no excuse for them to be this, for them not to be way further ahead of me than they are. I'm a little concerned, though. I mean, I always manage to get into this feeling that I'm short on time. Every time I play this game, they make me worry that I'm not going to make it, and I never actually fail to make it. But we've got another guy shows up and a battle has to happen event coming. I guess I'll explain Oversoul so you're not shocked the first time it happens. When you defeat enemies of the same type, because there's lots of palette swaps in this game. If you defeat enough of them, you will. Well, my cinemas just popped up. Yeah, we're gonna make fight a snake, right? Right. Let's welcome them with my snake. Generally, just slamming the attack button is faster than coming. I might be able to come up with attacks that will defeat all the enemies faster, but the decision-making process and going through the menus will slow down just having everyone attack.
No problem.
Well, why do you get to, like, pose at the end? You didn't win the fight. Someday, maybe Yuna will win the fight. Then that cat will stay out for the night. Okay, so that cuts straight to a cinematic that shows them appearing to be impossibly far ahead. Like, it really looks like we're hosed here, right? Yeah, I'm jumping. What? I'm jumping. Now you see their little meter disappeared. And you can see why. They're hanging for their lives. So I think maybe if you don't get to a certain stage before
Would you stop staring?
before they get to here, maybe you can lose, but I've never had it happen. I think it's just they always get stuck and you win. We will save our game. We'll place a card face down in our graveyard and end our turn. But yeah, Oversoul. If you fight an enemy type, like say 8 times, you defeat 8 of them, then the 9th is going to appear and there'll be this animation of like fireflies entering into it, and it'll glow and it'll have high stats and a completely different attack pattern than a regular version of the enemies. And some Oversoul enemies are a real pain in the ass to defeat, but one of the best garment grids in the game, because there are different garment grids give you bonuses. We've just seen the default one, which doesn't do anything. But different garment grids come with built-in bonuses, and one of the best ones you can get in the game involves having to Oversoul and defeat every species of fiend in the game. I think that one might be the one that gives you Ultima. I'm not sure. So I don't think we have the... Oops, that wasn't what I meant to do. So Yuna basically falling to her death there. I don't think we have the option of like being nice and helping them. I kind of like to. I mean, I don't want them to just die. Get the muscle belt. But yeah, we don't actually have a way to help them. We're not allowed to prevent them from falling to their deaths. They are not going to fall to their deaths. I'm just saying that when they don't fall to their deaths, it won't be us that stopped it from happening. This seems like a good, can I get a red ring? Yeah. But this muscle belt seems like something for a physical attacker to use. And this is kind of cool. That's not that cool, though.
It figures we'd run into something like this.
A new enemy type here at the beginning of the game, so that we'll expect them later in the game, but won't actually get them. I'm pretty sure this model of enemy never showed up in the first game. But... So it's Boris. Boris the Spider. Let's power break Boris. Let's use Thunder on Boris. Let's steal from Boris. Boris is our first legit boss. And he has got power break level 2 right now. I didn't notice whether Riku successfully stole or not, actually. We can take a pot shot at Boris for 8 MP, and that does 25 damage. Which really wasn't that much. Now everyone got stopped. So hopefully this will wear off, because it's kind of a nasty trick for the first boss in the game to be able to inflict stop. Okay, so it wore off fairly quickly. Yeah, I used 8 MP to do an attack that does 5 more damage than her regular attack. Didn't really count them, but I'm thinking that probably did less damage than her regular attack, too. Though that did 70, probably because Yuna was in the middle of her deal. Ow. So Boris is a fiend you can actually use in the creature creator mode. And I
Did that hurt?
made him pretty freaking powerful, actually. So there we go, folks. First boss defeated. Doesn't really count that whole before you get on the airship thing as a boss. It's a pretty crazy room around here. Look, disco... some kind of disco version of the Lawrence Welk show with the bubbles and the lights.
It's obvious to the trained eye that sphere's just a dud.
It's a dud!
Perfect for the dull wings.
Ooh, burn.
Youth wins again.
Seriously, you guys had no comeback at all?
Well, I guess we'll be taking this.
Fuck you, old people? Yeah, because they looked so old. LeBlanc appears to be in her 20s. I mean, I don't know why she hasn't killed herself yet to keep more resources for the younger generation. She might even be 30. Unthinkable. So, we're in the Floating Ruins chamber. You can run back and forth and enjoy the disco. It's only a disco in the sense that there's like lights. It's really more like the Lawrence Welk cave. And we walk forward slowly until she suddenly breaks into a run. Because she touched the edge of the screen, I guess.
Brother, mission complete.
Oh,
Brother, he's not with you?
the ship just flew up to where they were without knowing they were ready. Well, wait. So Brother's not... Wait, where's Brother then? What's going on? Well, it's Brother. I'm sure that they'll play it for laughs, whatever perilous situation he was in. Brother gets no respect in this game. He's the Roddy Dangerfield of the Alped. Except he's not wearing a tie. Well, why are you saying Brother's not with you? He was a couple of feet away from you, buddy.
He said something about Yuna being in trouble, then he just jumped ship.
And here he is.
So he didn't jump ship.
He's alive, right? Just leave him there.
Can you analyze the sphere we found?
So no one really cares that Brother's injured.
I'm on it.
I mean, he could have, like, internal bleeding. We don't even know. Alright, let's save the game, because we're going to get more than one way we can react to Brother. And we'll want to go with whichever one is the zaniest. So we will eventually be allowed to talk to Brother. Let's talk to Riku first. Just leave him. We're safe on autopilot. It's your brother. Which raises an important question. What does Brother actually do around here? Isn't he the leader? Isn't it his ship? Wow. What a bitch. Treasure sphere, ask Shinra. I think if we talk to Shinra, we advance things. Give me a few minutes, you know, I'm scanning for data. Yeah. Oh, great, erotic trampling. Now roll over on your back. Oh, I did not mean to do that. I did not mean to do that. Holy crap, she just... Okay, well, you have your choice of ignore or comfort. Wow, okay, oh my god, this is not my intention. Well, obviously the second time it was. I just wanted to see just how flagrant it could get.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you for letting me sit on your face.
It was, it's nothing.
Yeah, well, clearly it was nothing. You didn't accomplish anything.
Leader must be tough.
Sicko!
How dare you have a heterosexual attraction to... Well, you know, now that I think about it, they are cousins. So, okay, you know, that honestly, that had not occurred to me before. Yeah, they're first cousins, because Yuna's mother is the sister of Brother and Riku's father. So they are cousins. So you could argue it is a little sick, but basically it's just kind of like... Riku just appeared to be punt kicking him for, you know, daring to have a heterosexual attraction. But yeah, okay, they're cousins, so maybe that's a little funky. I no longer think of it, because you can ignore them all day long. I don't think it makes a difference. What other perversions can we get up to here? Oh, I don't think you're allowed to talk to him anymore. Yeah, okay, so you can't really interact with them anymore other than him grunting when you walk on him. So I was thinking, like, if you just completely ignore him and go talk to Shinra, it might lead to slightly different dialogue, but I don't think it makes a difference.
Analysis complete. Want to watch the sphere?
It's totally awesome, dude. You hoping for more shots of Titus in a different outfit, guy? That is presumably what they're hoping for. Well, it's Xanarkand. This ties in nicely with all the Fallout 4 I've been playing recently. The fact that this game is basically set in a post-apocalyptic world.
I can't believe I actually got a ticket.
Yeah, that's a ticket.
What a thrill to be able to shake her hand like that.
You sound kind of familiar.
Think it's worth anything?
It's not very exciting.
Everybody enjoying my breasts?
Junk.
But we can use it as a dress
I'm leaning
sphere.
forward and crossing my arms behind my back to give you the best possible view. So you get the Black Mage dress sphere from this.
Woo!
Incoming data. Goings to your stations. How long you plan on lying there?
Yeah, I believe he's saying, "Excuse me," Steve Martin style.
The treasure sphere data you've been dying for.
Yeah, boy.
There's at least one on Besaid Island. And another in the Xanarkand ruins.
He puts his feet up because he's a badass. Selecting a mission. While Riku is Riku. Aboard the airship, the sky is the limit. Based on the information Buddy collects, you can travel to various hotspots, take on various squirrels, take on missions, and advance the story. To select a mission for a destination, pull up the squirrel by talking to Buddy, or press the 0 button to return to the bridge. Why visit hotspots? Squirrels appear as you complete missions. Please see Let's Play Breath of Fire 2 for the whole squirrels thing. Squirrels appear as you complete missions, and Buddy collects data from throughout Sphera. Exploring these hotspots unlocks new mission episodes, placing you in charge of what direction the story will ultimately take. So we're not quite to where I'm ready to load. I saved my game after doing a bunch of off-screening that was carefully designed to avoid inadvertently, like, you know, I did a bunch of off-screening where I avoided visiting either hotspot. But I did visit a couple of areas, and there's cinematics the first time you visit any area, so we're going to try and recreate my steps as much as possible, and then eventually load and have significantly more powered-up characters than we have now. Before you leave, let me tell you about the mission select menu. And then we'll get loud and spill some drinks on the Citadel. On the left, you'll find a list of all the places you can go. Hotspots or squirrels appear when we get a scoop on some data. That's where the action is. Select the location with the X button to view analysis results and mission details. Use the action button. So anyway, our mission is Besaid's Island Sphere Hunt. Sphere waves coming from Besaid. Gather information to Besaid Village and find that treasure sphere. The easy to hard display at the bottom of the screen indicates the difficulty of battles in the area. The more stars there are, the tougher the fiends. Careful out there. So yeah, they basically arrange... it's kind of roughly... you know, they have... different areas are suited for different levels of character. That's all where to go, wings. So Besaid is moderate difficulty. In Act 1, or in basically any act, if it has 1 star for enemies, that probably means there are no enemies you can fight. For example, Kilika Island, there's no actual enemies. Kilika Island is one area in the game that looks very different from how it looked in Final Fantasy X, because in Final Fantasy X, the only time we even we see Kilika as right after it was attacked by Sin, and it was attacked by Sin while we were on our way there, so we never actually see Kilika Island looking normal. And in this game, it's presumed that the residents of Kilika Island over the last 2 years have rebuilt their village. Otherwise, every place looks the same, the maps are exactly the same. Sometimes there are a little bit of extra stuff tacked on. Besaid Island will have a plot-relevant cave that we can explore. Mihen High Road is going to be exactly the same. As a matter of fact, the old road and the new road will now serve no purpose other than just being more areas to explore. Mushroom Rock Road is actually a little different too, because the whole section that was Operation Mihen has been turned into a base for one of the factions. Jose Temple is the same map, but it's actually Jose Temple in particular feels really small because the Cloister of Trials, all of the Cloister of Trials, except for the Xanarkand one, you can still kind of go through most of the Xanarkand one, but the Cloister of Trials have been removed for most of the areas. Moonflow is the same. Guado Salam. Well, I don't want to talk about these places because we'll be visiting them and you'll get to see for yourselves. But Besaid is a place we would be visiting probably next in the story if it weren't for the fact that I'm trying to get all of the Albed primers, and also something else that I'll be showcasing I wanted to do, which involved paying off somebody's debt. And no, it's not the captain of who wears a hat that says, "Warning, I'm a boozer." It's a different person who has a great debt that we're able to pay off in this game, and it's advantageous to us to do so. So in my off-screening, a lot of what I did was finding ways to earn money to pay off this guy's debt. We'll be finding out more about that later, but for now, let's go to the... well, we can go to the Baikonur Desert. Let's actually return to the bridge and save, because the Baikonur Desert is... There's not... It's, well, again, I keep wanting to spoil stuff right before we actually see it for ourselves. The trip to the Baikonur Desert can be a little bit dangerous. Let's put it that way. So we will save. And you know what? We're really close to the end of the video, so I think it makes sense just to call it a video now. But to actually kind of go through the process of following my footsteps off screen, our next thing is going to go to the Baikonur Desert. We'll do that next time, folks. I'm the Mysterious JG. I want to thank you guys very much for watching, and I hope you'll join me next time for more of the silly, sexy, just kind of ridiculous, but still fun adventures of Yuna and her gal pals, her little like Charlie's Angels group, in Final Fantasy X-2. Catch you next time.